Welcome to Numismatic Vault, the channel where coins aren't just spare change, they're hidden treasures waiting to be found. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of rare and valuable state quarters. Some of these coins are worth far more than you'd ever imagine, and the best part, they could be sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now. So get ready, because by the end of this video, you might be looking at your change in a whole new way. Top 1, we're going to uncover the hidden story behind one of the most fascinating coins from the United States, the 2000 South Carolina State Quarter. This coin might look like just another quarter from the popular 50 State Quarter series, but believe me, some rare versions of this coin have shocked collectors with their incredible value. So listen very carefully and enjoy till the end, because the next coin you find might just change your life. The South Carolina State Quarter was released in 2000 as part of the U.S. Mint's ambitious program that honored each state with its own unique design. It was the 8th coin in the series and proudly celebrates South Carolina's history, culture, and natural beauty. On the obverse, you'll find the classic portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan, the familiar image we've seen on quarters for decades. But the real magic lies on the reverse side. The design features a majestic palmetto tree in the center, surrounded by the state outline, the Carolina wren, and the yellow jessamine, the state bird and flower. You'll also spot the phrase, the Palmetto State, a nod to the state's nickname and the historic role of palmetto trees in protecting Fort Moultrie during the Revolutionary War. Every detail on this coin tells a piece of South Carolina's proud heritage. Now, while millions of these quarters were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, and a smaller number in San Francisco for collectors, only a few carry the unique traits that make them worth big money today. So what makes some of these coins so special? Let's explore the fascinating world of errors and varieties that transform an ordinary 25-cent coin into a rare and valuable collectible. One of the most talked about errors found on the 2000 South Carolina quarter is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't perfectly aligned during minting, causing the design to shift noticeably. Sometimes, part of the coin's rim is missing, or the image appears tilted. The more off-center the strike, as long as the date is still visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. These are like little minting miracles, each one a unique piece of history that slipped past quality control. Another incredible type of error is the double die variety. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin impresses the design twice, but slightly misaligned. On some 2000 South Carolina quarters, you might see doubling in the lettering of E pluribus unum, or in parts of the palmetto design. These double-struck details can dramatically raise a coin's desirability and market value, especially when the doubling is strong and visible without magnification. Then there's the clipped planchet error, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a mistake during the blank cutting process. These clips can be curved or straight, depending on how the blank overlapped during cutting. A cleanly defined clip on a 2000 South Carolina quarter can catch the attention of serious collectors, especially if the coin is in high-grade condition. Now let's talk about one of the most eye-catching mistakes, the struck on the wrong planchet error. Imagine a quarter that was accidentally struck on a blank meant for another denomination, such as a nickel or dime. These coins are smaller, lighter, and have incomplete designs because the planchet size doesn't match the die. Such mistakes are rare and instantly recognizable, often fetching astonishing prices at auction. Another fascinating type of error is the die crack or cut error, where the die itself develops a small break or chip. When that damaged die strikes the coin, it leaves raised metal lines or blobs that collectors call cuts. Some South Carolina quarters show these along the rim or near the state outline, giving each coin a one-of-a-kind appearance. And don't overlook the struck-through grease error, one that can make parts of the design look faded or missing. When grease or debris clogs the die, certain elements like the bird, flower, or inscriptions appear weak or ghostly. While many people might think it's just wear and tear, knowledgeable collectors know it's a genuine mint error, and that makes all the difference. But rarity isn't just about mistakes. Condition plays a crucial role too. Most quarters from 2000 have been heavily circulated, losing their shine and sharpness. But if you come across one in mint state condition, with full luster and no scratches, you might have something truly special. Coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can command impressive prices due to their near-perfect preservation, and let's not forget the proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint. These were specially made for collectors using polished dies and planchets, resulting in a stunning mirror-like finish. Some of these proof coins even display cameo contrasts, with frosted designs standing out beautifully against reflective fields. Though they were never intended for circulation, a few have made their way into everyday transactions, and finding one of those is like uncovering hidden treasure. The 2000 South Carolina State Quarter holds a special place in the hearts of collectors because it symbolizes more than just a piece of currency, it's a slice of American history and craftsmanship. Each error, variety, or minting oddity tells a story of how human precision and machine imperfection can come together to create something truly rare. So next time you get a handful of quarters, take a closer look. Examine the date, check for odd markings, doubled letters, or missing sections. You never know, the next valuable find might be sitting in your pocket right now, waiting for your discovery. Collectors love coins like this because they remind us that even the smallest details can make a world of difference. The excitement of the hunt, the thrill of discovery, and the joy of holding a rare piece of history, that's what makes this hobby so special. Now for the part you've been waiting for, the value reveal. Among the rarest known examples of the 2000 South Carolina State Quarter, one featuring an exceptional minting error and preserved in perfect uncirculated condition was sold for an astonishing $86,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $86,000 for a single quarter. So before you spend your next 2000 South Carolina State Quarter, take another look at it carefully. Because what might look like an ordinary coin could actually be a hidden treasure, carrying the story of American minting, and maybe even your ticket to an incredible payday. Top 2. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins from the U.S. State Quarter series, the 2000 Massachusetts State Quarter. This coin may look like an ordinary piece of pocket change, but certain rare versions have turned into valuable treasures, making collectors across the country rush to check their coin jars and wallets. So, if you're a coin lover or just someone curious about hidden treasures, listen carefully and enjoy till the end, because this is one of those coins you'll never look at the same way again. The Massachusetts State Quarter was released in the year 2000 as part of the famous 50 State Quarters program that ran from 1999 to 2008. It was the sixth coin in the series and beautifully represents the spirit and history of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. On the obverse, we have the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, a design that has graced quarters for decades. But it's the reverse side that truly tells the story of Massachusetts. The design features a striking image of a Minuteman, a colonial soldier from the Revolutionary War, standing proudly in front of an outline of the state. It also includes a star marking the location of Boston, along with the words, "the Bay State," which is Massachusetts' nickname. This design perfectly captures the pride, courage, and history of one of America's most important states, the birthplace of the Revolution. Now, while millions of these quarters were minted, more than 600 million combined from the Philadelphia and Denver mints, only a tiny number have unique characteristics that make them stand out as rare and valuable collectibles. These rare coins aren't just lucky finds, they're the result of fascinating minting errors and special variations that slipped through the cracks during production. Let's explore some of the incredible errors that can turn this 25-cent coin into something worth thousands. One of the most sought-after errors on the 2000 Massachusetts State Quarter is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin, called a planchet, isn't placed properly under the die before striking. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing, sometimes leaving a crescent-shaped blank area. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more desirable the coin, especially if the date remains visible. These off-center strikes are not only rare but each one is truly one of a kind. Another popular and valuable type of mistake is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to stamp the design strikes twice, but slightly misaligned, causing a doubling effect. Collectors look closely for doubling in the lettering, especially in Massachusetts, the Bay State, or E pluribus unum. Sometimes, even the Minuteman's figure or the outline of the state shows faint doubling. The stronger and clearer the doubling, the higher the coin's value climbs. Then there's the clipped planchet error, which gives the coin a distinctive missing edge, almost as if a bite was taken out of it. This happens when the metal strip used to punch out coin blanks overlaps during cutting. These clipped coins are immediately noticeable and are highly prized by error coin enthusiasts, especially if they're well preserved and show clear signs of the minting process. Some of the rarest and most fascinating examples are the struck on the wrong planchet errors. These coins were accidentally struck on blanks meant for other denominations, like dimes or nickels. When that happens, the resulting coin is smaller or thinner than a normal quarter and usually features incomplete designs because the smaller planchet can't hold the full image. A Massachusetts state quarter struck on a dime planchet is one of those incredible minting accidents that collectors dream of finding. Another captivating type of error is the die crack or cut error, where the die used to stamp the coin develops a crack or break. This leaves raised metal lines or blobs on the coin's surface. These can appear on the rim, through the Minuteman, or across the state outline. Every die crack tells a unique story of wear and tear inside the minting presses, and for collectors, that makes the coin a piece of minting history. Also worth noting is the struck-through grease error. During production, grease or debris can sometimes get onto the die, causing parts of the design to be faint or completely missing. The result is a coin that looks slightly ghostly, with faded details that give it a mysterious appearance. Many people mistake these for worn-out coins, but experts know they're actually rare minting mistakes that can be worth hundreds or even thousands. Condition, of course, plays a major role in determining value. Circulated coins, the ones that have been passed around for years, generally don't fetch much. But when a 2000 Massachusetts quarter is found in mint condition, especially graded MS-67 or higher, its value can skyrocket. These high-grade coins are rare because most were used in everyday transactions. Proof coins, especially those minted in San Francisco, also have collector appeal. These proof quarters were made with specially polished dies and planchets, giving them a stunning mirror-like finish that shines brilliantly under light. Now, why are collectors so fascinated by this particular coin? The Massachusetts state quarter represents a turning point in U.S. coinage, when the mint reignited America's passion for collecting by releasing coins with unique designs for every state. The historical symbolism, the connection to the American Revolution, and the various minting anomalies all make this coin special. For many collectors, finding one with a significant error is like holding a small piece of American heritage, a moment when artistry and accident came together to create something extraordinary. So, the next time you receive change, don't ignore that 2000 Massachusetts state quarter. Look closely, check for doubling, off-center strikes, or strange edges. A simple observation could lead you to a rare treasure hiding in plain sight. Collectors all over the country are constantly hunting for coins like these. They know that even the smallest detail, a shifted design, an unusual rim, a missing letter, could mean the difference between a regular coin and one worth thousands. The excitement of discovering a rare quarter like this is what makes the world of coin collecting so thrilling. And now, the moment you've been waiting for: just how valuable can a rare 2000 Massachusetts state quarter really be? Among the finest known examples, with a prominent minting error and in pristine uncirculated condition, one extraordinary coin was sold for an unbelievable amount of $83,000. Yes, you heard that right, $83,000 for a single quarter. So before you spend that Massachusetts state quarter on a gumball or toss it into your coin jar, take a closer look. That little piece of metal might just be a hidden fortune waiting for the right pair of eyes to recognize its true worth. Top 3. We're diving into the fascinating story of this beautiful coin, the rare errors that make it so valuable, and why collectors across America are hunting for it even today. So, coin lovers, sit back, listen carefully, and enjoy this amazing journey into the world of one of the most intriguing coins ever minted in the United States. The Louisiana State Quarter was released in 2002 as part of the 50 State Quarters program, which was designed to honor each state with a unique design representing its history and culture. Louisiana was the 18th state admitted to the Union, and this coin celebrates that moment with a striking and meaningful design. On the obverse side, of course, we have the classic image of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, a design that's been part of the quarter since 1932. But the reverse side, the Louisiana design, is what makes this coin truly stand out. the reverse features an elegant image of the Louisiana Purchase, symbolized by the outline of the United States with a highlighted area marking the land acquired from France in 1803. Beside it, you'll see a brown pelican, Louisiana's state bird, standing proudly, a representation of resilience and nature. To add more beauty, a trumpet and musical notes pay tribute to the state's rich jazz heritage. With so much symbolism packed into one small piece of metal, it's no wonder collectors are drawn to this coin. But here's where things get really interesting. While millions of these quarters were produced, only a handful have specific minting errors that make them extremely rare and valuable. These unique mistakes occurred during the minting process at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and they're the reason why some 2002 Louisiana state quarters can sell for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Let's explore these fascinating errors one by one. One of the most famous and sought-after varieties is the off-center strike error. This happens when the blank coin isn't properly aligned with the dies before being struck. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing, leaving a blank crescent-shaped area on the edge. The more off-center the strike, while still showing the date, the higher the value. A perfect off-center Louisiana quarter can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on how dramatic the error is. Another incredible error collectors look for is the double die error. This type of mistake occurs when the die used to strike the coin has been engraved or impressed twice at slightly different angles. When struck, this produces a doubling effect that can be seen in the lettering, numbers, or even on design elements like the trumpet or musical notes. A strong doubling, especially on the words Louisiana Purchase or E pluribus unum, is a sign of a valuable find. Now, another exciting error to watch for is the clipped planchet error. This error occurs when the metal strip used to cut out the coin blanks overlap slightly, resulting in coins with missing curved sections, as if someone took a small bite out of the edge. These clipped planchets are visually unique and instantly recognized by collectors, especially when the rest of the design remains clear and sharp. Next, we have the struck on the wrong planchet error. Imagine finding a Louisiana state quarter that was accidentally struck on a blank meant for a dime or nickel. These coins are smaller or thinner than normal and often have incomplete designs because the wrong metal blank was used. Such an error is extremely rare, and examples can be worth thousands of dollars on their own due to how unusual and fascinating they are to numismatists. There's also the die crack error, which appears when the die used to strike the coins develops tiny fractures. These cracks create raised lines or blobs on the finished coin. Some die cracks look like lightning bolts streaking across the coin, while others form blobs known as cuds near the edge. Every die crack is unique, and the most dramatic ones make a coin instantly more desirable to collectors. Another fascinating and more subtle error is the struck-through grease error. During minting, grease or debris can get caught in the die, preventing parts of the design from being fully struck. This causes certain details, like parts of the pelican, the trumpet, or the lettering, to appear faint or missing entirely. These coins often go unnoticed by the untrained eye but are highly prized by error coin specialists. Condition, of course, plays a huge role in determining value. Coins that have been in circulation for years and show wear are generally worth only face value, but uncirculated examples, especially those graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services, can bring in astonishing prices. Proof coins, particularly those minted in San Francisco, have special mirror-like finishes and frosted designs that make them even more collectible. These proof versions were never intended for general circulation, which makes them particularly appealing to collectors when found in pristine condition. The Louisiana State Quarter also holds a special place in coin collecting history because it represents not only one of America's most culturally rich states but also one of the most transformative moments in U.S. history, the Louisiana Purchase. This connection to a turning point in America's expansion gives the coin a deeper historical and sentimental value that goes beyond metal and mint marks. Collectors love coins that tell a story, and this one tells several, from the birth of jazz and the legacy of the pelican to the expansion of the United States itself. Combine that with the thrill of finding an error coin, and you have a piece that's both a historical artifact and a potential treasure. Now, imagine this: you're sorting through your spare change or looking through an old coin jar, and you spot a Louisiana State Quarter from 2002. It looks ordinary, but maybe, just maybe, there's something off about it: a doubled letter, a missing part of the rim, a slight misalignment. That tiny detail could turn an everyday coin into something extraordinary. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. It's like a treasure hunt where history, art, and chance come together. Every coin tells its own story, and sometimes, that story is worth a lot more than you'd expect. So, before you spend that Louisiana quarter or toss it back into your change jar, take a moment to examine it closely. You never know what you might be holding in your hand, and here's the incredible part. One of the rarest and most valuable 2002 Louisiana state quarters, featuring a remarkable minting error and in near-perfect condition, was sold for a jaw-dropping amount of $80,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $80,000 for a single quarter. So, keep your eyes open, check your change carefully, and who knows, maybe the next Louisiana quarter you find could be your golden ticket to an amazing discovery. Top 4. We're talking about the United States of America state quarter dollar from Ohio, released in 2002, a coin that's become one of the most fascinating pieces in modern American coin collecting. Stay tuned until the end, because the value of this little piece of metal will absolutely surprise you. The 2002 Ohio state quarter is part of the U.S. Mint's 50 state quarters program, one of the most successful coin programs in American history. This particular coin celebrates the state of Ohio, known as the birthplace of aviation pioneers. Its design beautifully honors Ohio's deep connection to flight, innovation, and exploration, making it an instant favorite among collectors. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, just like the other quarters in this series. But it's the reverse side that tells the real story, and it's one worth appreciating. The reverse shows a vintage astronaut floating beside an outline of the state of Ohio, with the words, "Birthplace of Aviation Pioneers." At the bottom, you can see a small image of the Wright Flyer, the first successful airplane, representing the groundbreaking achievements of the Wright brothers, who were both born in Ohio. And above that, a spacesuit symbolizes the state's contribution to space exploration through pioneers like Neil Armstrong and John Glenn. But beyond its beauty and historical meaning, this coin holds a secret that only sharp-eyed collectors can uncover. Minting errors and rare varieties that can transform this 25-cent coin into something worth thousands. Let's start with one of the most popular and valuable types, the double die error. This happens when the die that stamps the coin's design is engraved twice, slightly out of alignment. The result? A doubling effect that can be seen on words like Ohio, birthplace of aviation pioneers, or the astronaut's outline. When this error is strong and clear, it becomes an absolute gem in the eyes of collectors. Depending on the condition and how visible the doubling is, such a coin can fetch an impressive price. Another rare and intriguing error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the metal blank, or planchet, is not properly centered when struck by the dies. The result is a coin where part of the design is missing or shifted to one side, creating a dramatic and eye-catching misprint. Some off-center Ohio quarters even show up to 20 or 30% of the design missing, which makes them extremely collectible. Then, there's the famous struck-through grease error. During production, grease or debris sometimes gets caught between the die and the blank, causing certain parts of the coin's design to appear faint or completely missing. For the Ohio State Quarter, collectors have found coins where parts of the astronaut or the Wright Flyer are barely visible, an error that makes each piece one of a kind. Another type of minting mistake that makes the 2002 Ohio Quarter so special is the die crack error. Over time, the die used to strike the coins can develop tiny fractures. When this happens, the crack leaves raised lines or lumps on the coin's surface, sometimes forming what collectors call cuts. Some Ohio quarters have cracks running through the astronaut's helmet or across the outline of the state, details that not only make the coin unique but also highly desirable in the collector's market, and perhaps the rarest of them all, the wrong planchet error. Imagine finding an Ohio State quarter that was accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a dime or a foreign coin. These errors happen very rarely, but when they do, they're pure gold for coin enthusiasts. Such coins are often lighter or smaller than a normal quarter and are instantly recognized by experts as extraordinary finds. Now, let's talk about condition, because this can make or break the value of your coin. The United States Mint produced millions of Ohio State quarters, so regular circulated ones are still quite common. However, finding a coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, one that has never been touched by human hands, is another story. The difference between a worn coin worth 25 cents and a flawless one worth thousands comes down to just how well it's been preserved. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can easily bring in serious money, especially when combined with one of the rare errors we just talked about. The Ohio State Quarter was minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, marked by the P or D on the front. Additionally, proof versions were produced at the San Francisco Mint, often with a shiny mirror-like finish. These proof coins are sought after for their beauty and craftsmanship, and when one contains a minting error, it becomes a true collector's treasure. What makes this coin even more exciting is its connection to American history and achievement. It's not just another quarter, it's a symbol of exploration, progress, and innovation. From the Wright brothers' first flight to Neil Armstrong's first step on the moon, Ohio's story is one of human ambition reaching for the skies and beyond. That story, engraved in metal, gives this coin a meaning that goes far beyond its face value. Collectors around the world love coins like this because they combine artistry, history, and mystery all in one small piece. And the thrill of finding one with a rare error is something every coin enthusiast dreams of. Imagine spotting a 2002 Ohio State Quarter in your loose change, looking closely, and realizing you've just uncovered a minting mistake that could change your fortune. That's the magic of coin collecting. So, if you've got any 2002 quarters lying around, take a moment to look at them under good light. Check for doubling, off-center designs, or faint details that could indicate a mint error. Even a tiny imperfection could mean your coin is something truly special. And now, for the part every coin lover waits for, the most valuable known 2002 Ohio State Quarter, featuring an extraordinary minting error and preserved in near-perfect condition, was sold for an unbelievable $78,000. Yes, you heard that right, $78,000 for a single state quarter. So, next time you get change from the store, don't be too quick to spend it. You might be holding a tiny piece of American history, and possibly a fortune, right in your hands. Top 5. We're talking about the United States of America State Quarter Dollar from Nevada, minted in 2006, a coin that's not just beautiful, but can also be incredibly valuable if you know what to look for. So, coin lovers and collectors, get ready, because this one's packed with rarity, history, and excitement. Listen carefully and enjoy the full story of this hidden treasure. The Nevada State Quarter was the 36th coin released in a U.S. Mint's legendary 50 State Quarters program, which celebrated each state's unique heritage and symbols. Nevada, known as the Silver State, was honored with a coin design that truly captures its spirit of freedom, natural beauty, and Wild West history. On the reverse side of this 2006 quarter, you'll find 3 wild Mustangs galloping across the open desert, a powerful image that represents independence and the untamed wilderness of Nevada. Behind them, snow-capped mountains rise proudly, with the rays of the sun spreading across the background, while below, the state motto reads, "The Silver State." On the obverse, you'll find the classic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, which has graced the quarter since 1932. But what makes this coin so intriguing isn't just its artistic beauty, it's the rare errors and variations that appeared during the minting process, turning ordinary pocket change into extraordinary collectibles. Let's start with one of the most fascinating and valuable errors, the double die strike. This happens when the coin's design is struck twice by the die, with a slight misalignment. On the Nevada quarter, this doubling often appears in areas like the words, "The Silver State," or on the fine details of the horses and sun rays. These doubling patterns are not only rare but extremely sought after, especially when clearly visible under magnification. A strong double die example in mint condition can be worth a small fortune to the right collector. Another highly collectible error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly positioned between the dies during the strike, causing part of the design to shift or even go missing. Some Nevada quarters have been discovered with up to 25% of the design off-center, an error that makes them truly one of a kind. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the mint mark and date remain visible. Now, one of the most interesting error types you can find on this coin is the die crack error. Over time, the die used to strike the coins can develop small cracks, which then transfer raised lines or lumps onto the surface of the coin. These lines can appear across the horse's body, through the sun rays, or around the edge of the coin, creating what collectors call cuds or die breaks. While each one is unique, some of these die cracks can make a coin extremely desirable, not because they're mistakes, but because they add character and rarity. Then, there's the struck-through grease error. During the minting process, machinery is lubricated with grease to keep it running smoothly. Occasionally, this grease can get between the die and the blank coin, partially blocking the design from striking properly. When that happens, certain details, like parts of the horses, the sun, or the lettering, may appear faint, blurry, or missing entirely. These coins often have a ghostly appearance that instantly grabs the attention of seasoned collectors, but that's not all. Some lucky collectors have found Nevada state quarters that were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they were accidentally minted on a blank meant for a dime or even a foreign coin. These errors are incredibly rare and can be easily spotted because the coin will appear smaller, thinner, or lighter than a standard quarter. Finding one of these is like winning a small lottery in the world of coin collecting. When it comes to determining value, the condition of the coin plays a massive role. The U.S. Mint produced millions of Nevada quarters, so most of them are common. But the difference between a circulated coin worth face value and a pristine uncirculated one worth thousands can be astonishing. Collectors look for coins graded mint state 67 or higher, which are nearly flawless under magnification. Combine that with a rare error, and you've got a treasure that can make jaws drop. Let's also not forget that this coin was produced in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, marked with a P, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The San Francisco Mint produced proof versions with a mirror-like shine, designed especially for collectors. These proof coins are already valuable, but when one of them contains a minting error, it becomes something truly extraordinary, a rare masterpiece that represents both craftsmanship and accident. The Nevada quarter is not just another coin, it's a symbol of the American frontier, of wild horses running free across the desert, of the rich silver mining history that shaped the state's identity, and of the adventurous spirit that still defines the West. Every detail on this coin tells a story, and that's what makes it so special for collectors. Imagine holding this coin in your hand and realizing that what once was just pocket change is actually a small piece of history, a mistake from the mint that nature and chance conspire to create. These are the kinds of finds that fuel every collector's passion, keeping the hunt alive and exciting. So, the next time you go through your loose change or coin rolls, don't rush. Take a close look at any 2006 Nevada quarters you come across. Check for doubling in the text, off-center strikes, faint or missing details, or unusual raised lines. Even the smallest imperfection might be a sign that your coin is one of the rare, high-value pieces collectors dream about. And now, for the part you've been waiting for, the most valuable known example of the 2006 Nevada State Quarter, featuring a rare and dramatic minting error, was sold for an incredible $76,000. Yes, $76,000 for a single quarter. So don't underestimate what might be hiding in your coin jar or wallet. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story can lead to a life-changing discovery. Keep your eyes open, keep collecting, and who knows, the next valuable treasure might be right in your hands.